The following is a presentation of The Day.
Hey, welcome to the first vernal episode of Live Lunch Break. It officially became spring this week, so I thought I would throw out the word vernal to show off. I'm not sure I can spell it. My name is Rick Coster. You're watching theday.com, and we are privileged today to have a very fine Providence singer-songwriter, Jacob Haller, with us. Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
I say singer-songwriter, and that's what he's going to do today, but Jacob is in a variety of bands, works with a lot of different musicians and a lot of different styles, so you never quite know what we might get. Peter and I have heard a preview and the sound check. I think you're going to be entertained, so enjoy yourselves and welcome Jacob Haller.
Thanks. It's great to be here. So here's my first song of the day. It's called Stale Tequila. After the show, I had packed up my guitar. You caught my eye. You were standing at the bar. You flashed me a knowing grin. Looking so good, it was half a sin. I felt myself start to fall in lust. My brain began to whirl, till I thought it might combust. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. A few more drinks and a half a pack of smokes. We talked for hours. You laughed at all my jokes. Then we went back to your hotel. We did some things that I shouldn't tell. I felt myself start to fall asleep. You made me feel so safe, till it almost made me weep. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. Then I awoke in a bathtub full of ice. You left a note, I had to read it twice. It said call 911. I stole your kidney, thanks for the fun. I felt myself start to fall apart. Well, I know you took my kidney, but you also stole my heart. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. Yeah, a little tale of love lost and a few other things too. I'm going to do another song now. This is one that I wrote pretty recently, and it's about the internet. In my day-to-day life, I'm a man of few words, but on Google Chat, I can't wait to talk to my nerds. It's my social relief, the one thing that I do online. I've tried Twitter and Facebook too, but they ain't worth a dime. You know, I go to my job and I work hard every day. So how come all of my friends on gchat are set to away? live alone. I don't want to just talk to the wall. And when there's no one to talk to, a feet about 6 inches tall. You know that connecting friends, that's what the internet is for. Along with pictures of kittens and maybe a few things more. You know I try to be good every Sunday. I kneel down and pray. So how come all of my friends on gchat are said to away? I think it's time to break out. Tomorrow I will meet some new folks. I'll find a bunch of new friends who will laugh at some of my jokes. And if we're hungry, we'll go to a diner and have a bite. We'll go to movies and shows and we'll have a good time every night. And we'll talk about peeves that bother us every day. Like how come all of our friends on gchat are said to away? Like why all of our friends on gchat are said to away.
Come to Clover Farms.
Lose yourself in the possibilities for your home, yard, heart, and soul.
Come to Clover Farms
And see what we're building for you.
Offshore, out in the Sound, your island getaway awaits. Yes, Block Island beckons. With so much to do and see, a Block Island getaway is now closer than ever. Ride the high-speed Block Island Express from New London on one of 4 daily departures, where an island escape is yours at goblockisland.com. That's goblockisland.com.
So by doing the house and trade-in, you know, that we use that towards our down payment towards this condo, and it made life so much easier for us. It took all the worry out of everything.
Thank you so much for joining us at Live Lunch Break. We are streaming at theday.com as I speak. Our guest today is Jacob Haller, a very fine singer-songwriter from Providence. And Jacob, based on the first 2 songs that we heard, which one of them you had your kidney removed in a tequila spin, and the second one went down the dark roads of the internet. Talk a little bit about the muse. How does this work? Where do these songs? You're a dark fellow, sir.
Well, it's true. I don't know. I both of these actually were written based on something someone said. Like the first song, the Stale Tequila song. There's this monthly series in Providence, Rhode Island, at AS220, run by the Rhode Island Songwriters Association, and basically each month 4 songwriters they perform 4 songs each in the round, and one of those songs is on a theme chosen by the previous month's audience.
Oh, cool.
So Stale Tequila was a theme chosen by the audience that I had to write a song about.
So I have to interrupt. Was the theme getting drunk on tequila or literally stealing kidneys?
No, neither. It was Stale Tequila.
Oh, Stale Tequila.
Stale Tequila, the name of yeah. And so, you know, I was thinking about it a bit, what to do with it, and tequila doesn't actually go stale, you know,
now I will
stays
say
fine.
that I have awakened more mornings than I wanted to with that tequila. And you don't drink. So
I don't drink. Right.
Anyway,
or
you
donate
brought back
organs to strangers. So so it seemed like it was more of a, it was a taste you would have in your mouth rather than an actual literal thing. So I got the idea of like, so you wake up, and then I was like, oh, there's an old urban legend of a guy getting drunk with a woman and waking up the next morning in the bathtub. So I was like, I'll base the song on that, and then at the end, and sort of my take on it is like at the end he still wishes, he still wants to get together with her, kind of.
It sounds like she was a lot of fun in the song.
Right, yeah, up to a point, everything was going great.
I always thought that was a really compelling urban legend, except don't you sort of need a whole surgical team or something to pull something like that off?
Yeah, and like you probably want to make sure that the guy has functioning kidneys before you go through it all.
Yeah.
You may, know, there's like blood type matching and stuff. I think in practice, I think the thing about that song is it's just not practical.
No, but it's a great song. It's very funny. You're going to do a song for us here in a minute called Anne Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you tell the story, what it's about, but it's not just a song because you got merchandise and everything about Anne. Tell us about Anne. Play us a couple more songs and we'll talk.
Okay, that sounds good.
Jacob Haller.
So I read this book. I had heard about Anne Hutchinson, in school when I was growing up and everything. But a few years ago, I read this book by Sarah Vowell called The Wordy Shipmates, which is about the Puritans and Pilgrims founding Massachusetts. And there's a chapter in that book which discusses Anne Hutchinson. And Anne Hutchinson's basic story is she comes over with the Puritans. She starts doing Bible studies in Massachusetts, and the powers that be don't like what she's saying or that she's becoming so influential. So they put her on trial. The song is basically about the trial, so I won't say too much about it, but at the end, spoiler alert, they find her guilty of heresy and exile her to Rhode Island. Now, I grew up in Massachusetts and I now live in Rhode Island, so I know that that's a fate worse than death. But so she goes down to Rhode Island. There's an existing city in Providence that was founded by Roger Williams a little bit before, when he got exiled from Massachusetts. She goes to Portsmouth with her followers, and so she and Roger Williams are basically the two founders of Rhode Island, and are responsible for a lot of the traditions like religious freedom and whatnot that I'm very proud of. And so she lived there for a while, and she ended up moving to New York, I think Long Island, wherever the Hutchinson Parkway is, which is named after her, and she ended up getting, she and her family were killed by Native Americans who were angry at the Dutch settlers in the area. But she's just someone who lived a long and full life and is kind of a personal hero of mine. And when I read the book, I thought, someone should really write a song about this. And then after like a year and a half, I was like, well, no one else has done it. Maybe I should do it. So I wrote this song.
Well, Anne Hutchinson was a mighty woman. She was the daughter of Francis Marbury, and she was put on trial in 1637 for preaching in that Boston colony. Lord, Lord, preaching in that Boston colony. Well, the governor said to Anne Hutchinson, well, you've broken that biblical law, for a woman's place is in honoring her husband, not speaking out in church at all. Lord, Lord, speaking out in church at all. Well, let me read to you from the Bible. That's what Anne said to that governor. It says that my duty as an elder woman is to teach those that are younger. Lord, Lord, teach those that are younger. And Anne said, what law have I broken? Just tell me and I'll see if it is true. Then the governor shouted, well, hold on, sister, 'cause we're the judges here, not you. Lord, Lord, we're the judges here, not you. And they argued for days into the evenings, and the governor was losing his cool. For despite all his learning, that self-educated midwife was making him look just like a fool, Lord, Lord, making him look just like a fool. And Am said, you know that I'm not worried, 'cause God said you can't hurt me. Then the judge laughed out loud and the court retired to convict her of heresy, Lord, Lord, convict her of heresy. Now some might say the moral of the story is the dangers of too much pride. But I say it shows it's hard to break through that glass ceiling, even with God on your side, Lord, Lord, even with God on your side. Well, Anne Hutchinson was a mighty woman. She was the daughter of Francis Marbury, and she was put on trial in 1637 for preaching in that Boston colony, Lord, Lord, preaching in that Boston colony. Now, I happen to know that, or I believe that song has been played in classrooms in Massachusetts. So I thought for the other song, I would pick another song which I know has also been played in classrooms, because I'm an educational dude. This was another one actually written for that Songwriters in the Round series, and the theme was Absolute Zero. So you can see what I did with that. When I take Rosie out on Monday, then on Tuesdays I see Sue, then on Wednesdays I see Sarah, Lord, she knows just what to do. Then on Thursdays I see Lisa, and on Fridays Annalie, then I give myself a break. I like to keep my weekends free. My friends say, Jake, you oughta settle down, you're totally out of control. But if you think I'd ever stop running round, well, I got news for you, that'll never be true. I'm afraid that I ain't gonna ever change, 'cause my heart's at absolute zero. Alright, so absolute zero is the lowest possible temperature. It's 273.15 degrees below 0 Celsius, which is as cold as it gets. And it's also the temperature at which all molecular motion ceases. So for the purpose of this song, it's kind of a stand-in for stasis. That's where I was going with that. And I don't really like taking guitar solos, so this serves that purposes as well. Anyway, that's enough chemistry. Well, you know all the ladies love me. I sure try to treat them fine. And if they ain't having a real good time, well, I know it sure ain't my fault. Now I take Rosie out on Monday, then on Tuesdays I see Sue, then on Wednesdays I see Sarah, Lord, she knows just what to do. Then on Thursdays I see Lisa, and on Fridays Annalie, then I give myself a break. I like to keep my weekends free. My friends say, Jake, you oughta settle down, you're totally out of control. But if you think I'd ever stop running round, well, I got news for you, that'll never be true. I'm afraid that I ain't gonna ever change, 'cause my heart's at absolute zero. Yeah, I'm afraid that I ain't gonna ever change, 'cause my heart's at absolute zero.
Offshore, out in the Sound, your island getaway awaits. With so much to do and see, a Block Island getaway is now closer than ever. Where an island escape is yours at goblockisland.com.
So literally, we're changing deeds. You're using your house at an agreed upon number towards a down payment for the purchase here. It couldn't be much easier, really.
Come to Cloder Farms.
We believe in the art of handcrafted furniture. Workbench built in the USA to your specifications. The Cloder Farms Keystone Collection. Furniture handmade just for you. And see what we're building for you.
Thank you for joining us on Live Lunch Break. My name is Rick Coster, and you are watching theday.com. We have with us today from Providence. He's no relation to former Baylor basketball coach Jim Haller, who was there when I was at Baylor. This is, in fact, Jacob Haller. Have you ever heard of Jim Haller, a basketball coach?
No, I'm not.
The only reason I bring it up, other than I'm a lunatic, is that it's only the second Haller I've ever met, so I thought I'd throw that out. Now, while we were off air, we were sort of talking about the difference between heresy and witchcraft in colonial times, because you started that last set with a song about a hero of yours, Ann Hutchinson. Great song, a lot of history I didn't know, but you've also turned this into a merchandising opportunity. Not that I'm saying it's greedy, it's just cool merch. So I think you should show us some of it. And talk about it.
So, let's see, can you see that? This is
it's a tote bag.
Right, it's a tote bag. I also have shirts. The shirts are red. And I also have totes and shirt bags based on another song, Watching Killer Robots Eat Your Head, which I'm not planning to play today, but which is on my website if you want to check it out. And a woman in San Francisco named Shannon Garrity designed this shirt, and I think she did a great job. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's an alphabet at the top,
right,
which is based on actual like colonial American alphabet books for to teach kids or whatever. So like there's Adam with an apple.
Oh, cool.
And they're like nightingales.
So when you use this merchandise, or when you design it and have it produced, one of the cool aspects is that you get a different visual artist to design each one of them, right?
Yeah, this is an idea I had, because I know a fair number of artists, and often when I admire someone, I will send them CDs and be like, if I have their address for some reason, I'll send them CDs, and so there are a certain number of really talented people out of there who have heard my music and said nice things to me about it. So I decided what I could do is I could start writing to them, once every few months or so, and say, pick one of my songs or a line from one of my songs and come up with a design for it. And so I've done it a couple times, and it seems to be working out pretty well.
It's a great design.
So I'm going to keep doing it.
So do you think I'll be getting an email or a letter from you saying, Rick, what can you come up with for a surgically removed kidney in a tequila stupor?
Are you a visual designer?
No, but I would like to go up for the challenge on that one.
I mean, it's completely up to the artist which song I pick. I mean, I would prefer they not choose one that's already been done.
Yeah.
But if they did, I would probably be okay with it, really. So no one's chosen Stale Tequila yet, but that would be an interesting one. There are a lot of these that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, you've got a lot going on. I wanted to ask you in that context, there's a storytelling element, whether it's something serious about Ann Hutchinson or the kidney song, Stale Tequila. You've got another song on one of your albums. I believe it's called Part-Time Dog.
Yeah.
And we were off the air talking about life as a musician and how practical it is to have a dog or a cat, because a lot of times you're not home when you need to be there to care for the animals. And I sort of like the idea of part-time dog, because it's like, you can use the hound when it's beneficial for you. And my first thought was going to the beach with a part-time dog, because girls are going to immediately come over and be all over the hound. And then when the day's over and you picked up the babe, you could take the hound back, right?
Right. Well, it's, I mean, that was, a friend of mine was talking, like, you know, she babysits for, or dog sits for her neighbor's dog from time to time. And she was talking about, like, how whenever she babysits the dog, she's really happy to do it. But then when it's time to be done babysitting the dog, she's also happy about that. And so...
well, that's a lot more responsible context than me suggesting one should borrow a dog just to pick up a girl.
I don't think she would be opposed to that either. I think that's fun. I think that's legit.
I think most of the people that watch Live Lunch Break know that myself and our videographer, producer Pete Wappy are dog people, and I would never in a million years do that. But it's a funny idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, I babbled long enough. You had a nice momentum rolling until I came along. So let's ask Jake to play us a few more tunes.
All right. Should I maybe I should do Part-Time Dog instead of what I plan. Will that screw things up?
No.
No?
No, not
all right,
at all.
So Part-Time Dog.
Cool.
If I can remember the words. You know, I used to have a dog. Love to have that dog around. But now that she is gone, I ain't gonna rush off to no pound. It's great to have a dog. That's what all dog owners say. But I like having some freedom. You know that leash, it goes both ways. I want me a part-time dog. One who is sweet as she can be. One who will always be happy to always stay part-time with me. Now my part-time dog and I will cross paths every once in a little while. I'll feed her treats and I'll rub her tummy. I love to see that doggy smile. My part-time dog will be well cared for. It just won't be by only me. Now sharing pets is very modern. So don't you cluck your tongue at me. I want me a part-time dog. One who won't keep me up late every night. One who will always sometimes treat me great. Every once in a while she'll treat me right. Now you know I ain't no SOB. Drive a hungry dog from his door. I'll treat her well while she is mine. And I'll miss her when she goes next door. It'll be sad to see her go, to watch her go so far away. But trust me, man, it'd be sadder still if she stick around every day. I want me a part-time dog. I guess I told you the reason why. Now all I need's to find a puppy who's looking for a part-time guy. I got most of it right. This next song is called Dozen Lovely Roses. Sort of the basis of the song is I found a story on the internet, a true story. That's where all the true stories are, is on the internet. And I changed everything about it, and I ended up with this song, which is 100% true. Well, Jenny and Frank were sweethearts, though they lived so far apart. But the weekends they spent together kept them close to each other's hearts. Swore they'd be true till their faces turned blue. Now Jenny had owned the radio tuned to WHJG. The radio host said to Frank, "Tell me, who might your true love be? 'Cause you won the prize for the apple of your eyes. It's a dozen lovely roses, so much louder than words they speak. Imagine do the rosy hue, now bring to your lover cheek." Well, Frank didn't pause for a minute, 'cause the answer's as clear as can be. "Send those roses to my sweet wife, Esmeralda, if you please." Then Jenny cried, for she knew he'd lied. Then Frank was talking to Jenny. "I was just kidding, that's what he said." "Well, I ain't joking," said Jenny. "If you come around here, you're dead, no matter what you say. Keep the hell away." 'cause a dozen lovely roses, so much louder than words they speak. Imagine to the rosy hue they'll bring to your lover's cheek. When a dozen lovely roses, so much louder than words they speak. Imagine to the rosy hue they'll bring to your lover's cheek.
It's pretty clear that we had something to offer that other listings, other agents' listings did not have to offer. We offered them the opportunity to sell their home, get their home sold in a very slow, tough market.
Come to Cloder Farms.
Lose yourself in the possibilities for your home, yard.
It's pretty clear that we had something to offer that other listings, other agents' listings did not have to offer. We offered them the opportunity to sell their home, get their home sold in a very slow, tough market.
Come to Cloder Farms.
Lose yourself in the possibilities for your home, yard, heart, and soul.
Come to Cloder Farms.
And see what we're building for you.
Offshore, out in the Sound, your island getaway awaits. Yes, Block Island beckons. With so much to do and see, a Block Island getaway is now closer than ever. Ride the high-speed Block Island Express from New London on one of 4 daily departures, where an island escape is yours at goblockisland.com. That's goblockisland.com.
Thank you for joining us. This is Rick Coster at Live Lunch Break, streaming from theday.com, and we have been having a lot of fun with the singer-songwriter Jacob Haller from Providence, who has joined us today and entertained us mightily, both lyrically and melodically, and during commercials as well. Jacob, you alluded to and showed us some of the merch you've got, and you referenced a website, but I was too stupid to ask you what is the website, so in case people want to find out, where do they go?
So it's music.jwgh.org. JWGH is my initials, but you can also just Google Jacob Haller and you'll find about 1 million things. But I have a couple CDs for sale. I have the shirts. I have the tote bags. It's all there. I should also mention on my website there's a lyrics thing in the sidebar. If you click on that, you can see all the songs that I've got online. You can listen to them and you can read the lyrics if you didn't understand anything I was singing.
No, I think that Peter and I understood every word. We were laughing back there quite a bit, only during the amusing songs. We weren't laughing during the serious songs. But now, in addition to that, the fact that you've got a very healthy solo career, you work with at least 3 bands that I can think of in a variety of styles. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Well, I'm down to 2 at this point.
Oh.
But I've been, yeah. So one is my oldest band, and really the reason I'm performing publicly at all is my friend Chris Monty, 10 years ago this July, asked if I wanted to be in a band with him. And he is a truly excellent singer-songwriter and musician of the first order in his own right. So when someone asks you to join a band with him who's that great, like, you pretty much have to say yes. So we formed a band, and after a lot of wrangling, the name was the Kill Devils. And we do a lot of sort of traditional blues and folk music, as well as covers of various artists, and some original songs that each of us has written, and sing harmonies, and that is a lot of fun. And then a couple of years ago, I decided to form my own band as well that was focused just on my own material. So it's called Jacob Haller and the Silent Treatment, and that's with Joe Auger plays drums and mandolin occasionally, and Matt Everett plays violin and accordion, and that's a whole new experience. Is
fun though, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's great playing with those guys.
When's the next time you're going to play? When can people see you?
My next shows are both in North Providence, Rhode Island, at a place called The Locals, which is a restaurant that serves locally produced food. On March 30th, which is a Saturday, I'm playing 7 to 10 with a guy named Ian Fitzgerald, who's up from Somerville, I believe. And right, so that's 7 to 10 on Saturday the 30th. The very next morning, Sunday the 31st, I'm playing during lunch from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with my friend Jenny White, who's also a great singer-songwriter. There's a lot around here.
There is.
And then I have other shows coming up, and I actually have something booked in Willimantic, Connecticut.
Oh, nice.
I forget when that is exactly, but if you go to my website and click on the gigs link on the left, you'll see it all.
We've had a lot of fun today. Jacob Haller has been our guest. Would you do an encore song for us?
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's been a great time. Thank you.
Really fun. I hope all you out there have been having a good time too. I appreciate you tuning in. So this is a song. I actually didn't originally write the song about me, but it is pretty accurate. And I hope you like it. It's also the rare song that's played with a slide, so let's do it. Well, let's try to get this in a more comfortable position. Two, three. I'm a guy, I spell G U Y, and that spells guy. Now I'm a guy who sews, and I'm a guy who knits, and I also happen to be a guy who likes chick flicks. I'm a guy, I spell G U Y, and that spells guy. Now I'm a guy who cries at movies, songs, and plays, but I'm a better man than you. Lord, let me count the ways. Guy, that's one. I spell G, that's two. U Y, and that spells guy. Now I'm a guy who went to see the vagina monologues. You know, I even ask for directions when I'm lost in the fog. I'm a guy, I spell G U Y, and that spells guy. That's me, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. Jacob Haller. Terrific stuff, channeling your inner, who is that, Muddy Waters that wrote that?
Yeah, Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley. Great stuff. Thank you very much for being here. Next week we got PJ Tautkus. My name is Rick Coster. You're watching Live Lunch Break, and thank you for spending some time with us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.